Good afternoon, everyone. Before starting the session, just wanted to know whether am I audible? Yes, students. Good afternoon. I just want to know whether am I audible so that we could start up with the session. Great. So yes, students, this session will be all about the multiple choice questions of the very important chapter of class 9th, which is matter around us pure? So we will be discussing some important one marker questions of is matter around us pure? We will be starting with the very first question. See, what is the name of the metal which exist in liquid state at room temperature? So you all need to comment in the chat box that what is the answer of which question. You will be getting the specific time in different MCQs, and then you need to tell. So the very first is, what is the name of the metal which exists in liquid state at room temperature? The very first is sodium, second potassium, third mercury, or fourth bromine. So your time starts now, and without wasting time you need to tell what is the answer. Perfect. Hurry up. Yes. Sodium, potassium, mercury, or bromine? Yes, students, the correct answer is the mercury. Mercury, which is denoted by, as you can see, Hg. This is the mercury symbol. Mercury is denoted by Hg, and it looks like the silverish liquid, as you can see right now. This is what? This is a liquid metal. And which is a liquid metal? The only liquid metal is mercury. And you can see how it looks generally in the at the room temperature. So moving ahead to the next one, which of the following elements is not a metalloid? The four options are boron, silicon, germanium, tungsten. Out of these four, which is not a metalloid? So for that you all must know what is a metalloid. Metalloid क्या होता है? So your time starts now. A specific time has been given to you all. Hurry up, hurry up. I just wanted to know which of the following element is not a metalloid. The four options are boron, silicon, germanium, tungstens. Tungsten means out of these three are metalloid, only a single one out of these four is not a metalloid. So we all know that elements are divided into three categories, that are metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So moving ahead, first of all, I would like to explain you what are metalloids. Elements which show properties of metal and some properties of non-metals are termed as metalloids. मेटेलॉइड्स क्या होते हैं? जिनमें दोनों की प्रॉपर्टी देखने को मिलती है, हमें मेटल्स की भी देखने को मिलती है और नॉन मेटल्स की भी देखने को मिलती है, उन्हें हम मेटेलॉइड्स कहते हैं. So student, out of these four which you can see, boron, silicon, germanium, these three are metalloids, but the tungsten is not a metalloid. So the correct answer for this question would be tungsten. Moving ahead to the next question. If we put camphor in an open container, its amount keep on decreasing due to the phenomena of. Now, if we are keeping camphor in the open container, what is the reason responsible for its amount getting decreased? So the four options on your screen are precipitation, evaporation, sublimation, condensation. So your time starts now. You need to tell which is the correct option out of these four, which correctly defines the reduce in the size of camphor. I hope you all know students, the camphor is basically कपूर, जो घर में हम कपूर यूज़ करते हैं, और अगर उसे हम ओपन रख दें कंटेनर में तो थोड़े टाइम बाद उसका वेट कम हो जाता है. Out of these four, which is the correct reason for it? So yes, your time is about to end. Okay. See students, there is a process, very good Pari. There is a process termed as sublimation. Sublimation is the correct answer, and how I'll explain you. See, can you see this picture? This picture will clearly depict you why the answer is sublimation. What is sublimation? First of all, the process of changing of solid directly into gas. जब solid directly gas में change जाती है उसे हम क्या बोलते हैं? Sublimation बोलते हैं. And as you can see in this picture, the solid is getting converted into gas, as you can see, and if little amount of heat is also provided, this process will increase its speed. तो थोड़ी सी heat देते ही आपके इस process की speed increase हो जाती है. So the correct option is sublimation. The correct answer to this is. Moving ahead to the next question. In tincture of iodine, this is very important question. Find the solute and the solvent. So students, tincture of iodine क्या है? Tincture of iodine एक solution है, और इस solution में आपको ये बताना है कि solute क्या है और solvent क्या है. So your time starts now without wasting time. You just need to tell alcohol is the solute and iodine is the solvent is the first part. Iodine is the solute and alcohol is the solvent, second part. Any component, इनमें से किसी को भी solute मान लो या किसी को भी solvent मान लो, या tincture of iodine is not a solution. Tincture of iodine solution ही नहीं है, तो हम कैसे बताएंगे क्या solute है और क्या solvent है? So, see students, if we are talking about tincture of iodine, you almost know how it looks. It is found in the lab in this form. And tincture of iodine is a solution. Perfect. And solution are made up of two components. What are the two components of the solution? The very first is the solute, and the next is the solvent, which is present in lesser quantity is the solute, and the one which is in more quantity is the solvent. So in this case, iodine is the solute and it is mixed in alcohol. Alcohol is the solvent in the case of tincture of iodine. So if the question asks what is the solute and what is the solvent in case of tincture of iodine, the correct answer is iodine is the solute and alcohol is the solvent. So the correct answer out of these four would be the second one. This second one is the answer of tincture of iodine. Moving ahead to the next one. The continuous zigzag movement of colloidal particles in dispersion medium is called. Now, you all know there are three types of solutions. What are the three types of solutions? Solution, suspension and colloid. And out of these three, the colloidal particles are found to have zigzag movement. You need to tell what is the reason responsible for it, and your time starts now. So, A. Dispersion, B. Oscillation, C. Tyndall effect, or fourth, Brownanian motion. Which is the zigzag movement of particles termed as? Hurry up, your time is getting passed away. Yes, perfect, great, Ritik, Lavish, perfect. So yes students, see, if you will observe this picture carefully, it has been observed that if we are observing this colloidal solution under the microscope of high range, and then what we will be observing, we will be observing this type of movement of particles, and the particles are moving in a zigzag manner, and in the magnified view this has been showcased in this form. So this type of movement is what? This type of movement is the zigzag movement, and the zigzag movement of the colloidal solution is termed as, the correct answer was given by many, and that is the Brownian movement. Perfect. So moving ahead to the next question, a pure substance which is made up of only one kind of atom, एक ही टाइप के atoms का बना हुआ है, and that particular atom cannot be broken down into two or more simpler substances by physical or chemical means, is referred to as. So out of the four, which is the correct answer? Hurry up. A. Element, B. Compound, C. Mixture और D. Molecule. हमारे पास एक प्योर सब्सटेंस है और वो प्योर सब्सटेंस और नहीं टूट सकता. अब जब वो और नहीं टूट सकता तो वो क्या है? वो एलिमेंट है, वो कंपाउंड है, वो मिक्सचर है, या वो मॉलिक्यूल है? यस, परफेक्ट बॉयज. Yes, this in that case would be an element. वो क्या होगा हमारा? Element. So the correct answer, the compound which cannot be broken down, or the substance which cannot be broken down, is the element. As you can see it on the screen, see, this is neon, this is fluorine, and both of these are what? Both of these are elements. So what is an element? An element is a substance which is made up of only one kind of atoms. And in total, presently, how many elements are there? There are 118 elements. And these 118 elements are divided into the three categories, that is of metals, non-metals and metalloids. Moving ahead to the next one. According to the definition of pure substance, right now we have gone through the definition of pure substance. Which of the following is a pure substance? There are four options. You need to tell which of the following is a pure substance. Iron, ice, mercury, or all of these. Hurry up. Out of these three, which will be the pure substance? Iron, ice, mercury, or all of these? Need to be fast. Yes. So the time is over. Correct answer, students. See, iron is also an element. Iron is the Fe. Further, they are talking about the pure substance. See, students, the pure substance are divided into two categories. Pure substance could be either elements, and the second category of pure substance is compounds. So there are two categories of pure substances, that is the elements and compound. Iron comes in the category of element because it is made up of a single type of atom. Ice has the formula of H2O. It will come in the category of compound, and compounds are also the pure substance. Mercury, the symbol is Hg. We recently discussed it in the session. So Hg is also what? Mercury is also an element. So since all the three are either in the category of elements or in the category of compounds, and elements and compounds come in the category of what? They come in the category of pure substances. So which of the following is the pure substances? The correct answer would be all of these. Perfect, Ritik. All the three comes in the category of pure substance. Moving ahead to the next one. You need to tell the amount of solute present per unit volume or per unit mass of the solution or the solvent is known as. Yes, your time starts now. You need to think. There are four options. What are the four options? The composition of solute, the concentration of solvent, the concentration of solute, or the concentration of solution. Out of these four, which is correctly defining it? Perfect, students. Great. It is whether it is composition, concentration, and now if you're saying concentration, then it is concentration of solute, solvent, or solution. Okay, the time is finished, and yes, correct answers given by the students. It is defined as the concentration of solution. Now I want to explain you, students, on the basis of concentration we term the solutions into two categories. And what are the two categories? That is the concentrated solution and the dilute solution. What are the concentrated solution? In which the amount of the solute particles is more. जिसमें हमारा जो solute होता है उसकी quantity ज़्यादा होती है, उसे हम क्या बोलते हैं? Concentrated solution. And in dilute solution, the amount of the solute particles is less. So basically in dilute solution, the amount of water is more, and in case of concentrated solution, the amount of water which is present, the amount of water present is less. And even in the labs, when you will be visiting the labs, you will be seeing the solutions are written that CONC is concentrated and DIL is dilute. So what does these terms concentrated and dilute show? That concentrated is containing the more amount of acid or base and less water, whereas dilute is containing more water and less amount of the acid or the base. And so dilute solution would be less harmful than concentrated solutions. Moving ahead to the next question. When two liquids do not mix, they form two separate layers and are known as. Now there are four options on your screen. You need to tell that if two liquids do not mix, वो mix नहीं हो रहे हैं और वो अलग अलग layers बना रहे हैं, when they are forming the separate layers, they are termed as what? Miscible liquids, immiscible liquids, saturated solution or saturated liquid, or fourth is super saturated liquid. Choose any one of the four. Which two liquids do not mix? Yes, whether they are termed as miscible, immiscible. Perfect, students. When two liquids do not mix into one another and they are forming a separate layer, then they are termed as immiscible liquids. Correct. And we can consider a common simple example. You can see how oil and water, they are forming two separate layers. Can you all see? When two liquids are forming the separate layer और वो mix नहीं हो रहे हैं, तो हम उसे क्या बोलते हैं students? हम उन्हें बोलते हैं immiscible liquids. वो आपस में mix नहीं हो रहे हैं. Okay? Now, if I talk about how do we separate these immiscible liquids, there is a separation technique termed as separating funnel. This apparatus on your screen is termed as separating funnel. This separating funnel forms two layers of the solution. जो immiscible liquid है, lighter will form the upper layer and the heavier will come towards the bottom, and then we can separate it easily. So the technique used for separating two immiscible liquids is by using the separating funnel, and immiscible liquids are the liquids which do not mix. Next, which of the following non-metal is a good conductor of electricity? Hurry up, think. We know all non-metals do not conduct electricity, but there is a non-metal which is a good conductor of electricity. So, the four options on your screen are aluminium, gold, graphite, and copper. Out of these four, which is a good conductor of electricity? Yes, great. So the time is about to pass. Okay, it's finished. See, we are talking about non-metal, and if you all know, copper, silver, or the options aluminium, gold, copper, all these are what? These are metals. and the only option in this category is of graphite. Graphite is the non-metal, and graphite is made up of what? Graphite is made up of carbon, and carbon is a non-metal. So carbon, when carbon combines, it forms graphite. And if it has been asked, it's a very very important question, name a non-metal which is a good conductor of electricity, the answer is graphite. I can show you how. See, this picture will clearly help you to solve it, will understand it better. See, a circuit has been constructed and the pencil lead has been used, and checked whether the current is flowing or not. Yes, if the bulb is glowing, the current is passing. And as you can see, bulb X and Y, both of the bulbs glow because they are connected to what? They are connected to graphite. Graphite is present in pencil lead. So since graphite is present in pencil lead, so it is a since then also the electricity is passing, the current is passing, and hence the graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Moving to the next question. Heterogeneous mixture in which the solute particle do not dissolve and remain suspended throughout the solvent, and the solute particles can be seen with the naked eye, is known as. अब हमारे मिक्सचर्स दो टाइप के होते हैं, होमोजीनियस मिक्सचर्स या हेट्रोजीनियस मिक्सचर. होमोजीनियस मिक्सचर जो देखने में एक जैसे लगते हैं, और हेट्रोजीनियस मिक्सचर जो एक जैसे नहीं लगते, जिसमें पार्टिकल्स मूव करते रहते हैं. तो आपका क्वेश्चन ये है, आपको बताना है हेट्रोजीनियस मिक्सचर जिसमें पार्टिकल्स मूव करते रहते हैं और उसमें सॉल्यूट पार्टिकल्स डिसॉल्व नहीं हो रहे हैं, सॉल्यूट पार्टिकल्स मूव कर रहे हैं. आपको उन्हें इन 4 कैटेगरीज में से किसी कैटेगरी में बताना है कौन सा सॉल्यूशन की बात हो रही है. ए कोलॉइडल सॉल्यूशन, बी सस्पेंशन, सी sublimation, or D super saturated solution. You do have these 4 options. So yes, hurry up, your time is getting past. Great, Lavish. So in which case the particles will remain suspended? Perfect. The correct answer is the suspension. Perfect. Suspension is the type of solution in which the particles remain suspended. And now you can see how. You can see there are 3 beakers solution in which the particles are all mixed properly. The second is the suspension in which you can see the particles are suspended throughout the solution. And the third is the precipitation in which the solute particles settle down at the bottom. So since the solute particles remain suspended, सारा टाइम इसमें solute particles मूव ही कर रहे हैं, वो सेटल नहीं हो रहे हैं. और जब सेटल नहीं होते उस सॉल्यूशन को हम बोलते हैं सस्पेंशन. जब सेटल हो जाते हैं तो हम उसे बोल देंगे प्रेसिपिटेशन. और सॉल्यूशन में अगर पार्टिकल्स मूव कर भी रहे हैं, इट कैन नॉट बी सीन. द सॉल्यूट पार्टिकल्स आर वेरी वेरी स्मॉल इन साइज. मूविंग अहेड, when the liquid is spun rapidly, means हमारे पास एक मिक्सचर है और उसे हम बहुत ज़्यादा तेज स्पीड से रोटेट कर रहे हैं. The denser particles are forced to the bottom and the lighter particles stay at the top. This principle is used in. So your time starts now. You have 4 choices, that is sublimation, centrifugation, distillation, and the 4th is evaporation. अब आप बताइए, आप मिक्सचर को ले रहे हैं और उसे बहुत तेज स्पीड से रोटेट कर रहे हैं, तो लाइटर पार्टिकल्स ऊपर आ जाते हैं और हेवियर पार्टिकल्स नीचे बैठ जाते हैं. ये किसका करेक्ट आंसर है? ये सब्लिमेशन में होता है, सेंट्रीफिकेशन में होता है, डिस्टिलेशन में होता है, या फिर इवापोरेशन. वेरी गुड बॉयज, you're responding correct. The correct answer is centrifugation. This happens in the centrifugation and I'll tell you how. See, you can see in this picture there are 2 solutions. Before centrifugation हमारा solution कैसा लगता है और centrifugation के बाद हमारा solution कैसा लगता है. तो centrifugation के बाद आप देख रहे हैं जो denser particles है वो नीचे settle down हो गए हैं और जो lighter particles है वो ऊपर flow कर रहे हैं. तो ये denser particles कहाँ पे बैठ गए? नीचे. और lighter particles कहाँ पे कर रहे हैं? ऊपर float कर रहे हैं. Now you can see this is a centrifugating machine in which the different test tubes are kept, and the mixture is rotated at very high speed. It is written rapidly rotating motor. So after the mixture has been rotated at very high speed, आप पहले देख सकते हैं पार्टिकल्स कैसे मिक्सड अप थे, और उसके बाद जो हेवियर पार्टिकल्स थे वो नीचे सेटल डाउन हो गए. और ये प्रिंसिपल सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन मशीन्स में यूज़ होता है. द बेसिकली द मिक्सी एंड द बटर इज सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम द मिल्क इन दिस पर्टिकुलर फॉर्म. Even it is used in diagnostic laboratories, so there are so many uses of it. Moving ahead to the next question. Tincture of iodine has antiseptic properties. The solution is made by dissolving. अब भी हमने डिस्कस किया है इसी सेशन में कि टिंक्चर ऑफ आयोडीन किससे बनता है. So your time starts now. You need to tell me which would be the correct answer. A. Iodine and potassium iodide. B. Iodine and Vaseline. C. Iodine and water. Or D. Iodine and alcohol. Very good, Ritik. Great. So the time is finished, and the correct answer is it is formed by mixing iodine in alcohol. Iodine is the solute and alcohol is the solvent. Next, boron and carbon are. Now you just simply need to tell, these both are elements. You need to tell boron and carbon are A. metal, B. non-metal and metalloid respectively, C. metalloid and non-metal respectively, and D. both are metalloids. So choose which is the correct answer. मेटल है, फर्स्ट वाला नॉन मेटल है, दूसरा वाला मेटलॉइड है, फर्स्ट वाला मेटलॉइड है, दूसरा वाला नॉन मेटल है. सो येस, द टाइम इज ओवर, एंड सो आई मस्ट टेल यू, boron students, boron is a metalloid, and as we have discussed, carbon is used to make graphite, and they are under the category of non-metal. So carbon is non-metal and boron is metalloid. So the option would be, the first one is metalloid and the second one is non-metal. The next one, this is one of the most important question of today's session, which will help you to clear your concept, know the question better. So without wasting time, we'll start. Two chemical species X and Y combine together to form a product P. आप क्या देख सकते हैं, अगर आप देखेंगे आपके पास दो केमिकल स्पीशीज हैं, और कौन सी दो केमिकल स्पीशीज हैं, X और Y, और X और Y मिलकर क्या बना रहे हैं, एक प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं जिन्हें हम बोलते हैं P. X and Y cannot be broken down into simpler substances. अब ना ही X टूट सकता है और ज़्यादा, ना ही Y टूट सकता है और ज़्यादा. Which of the following concerning the species X, Y and P is correct? अब देखो, दो अलग अलग आपके पास एलिमेंट्स हैं या फिर कंपाउंड्स हैं या फिर दो कोई सी भी स्पीशीज है X और Y. X and Y are combining to form P. ना ही X फर्दर ब्रेक हो सकता है, ना ही Y फर्दर ब्रेक हो सकता है. तो स्टूडेंट्स, आपको पता होना चाहिए जो फर्दर ब्रेक नहीं होते वो हमारे X और Y है, और उन्हें क्या कहते हैं, इतना आपको याद हो जाना चाहिए था. अब आपके पास 4 ऑप्शन है, आपको बताने हैं कौन कौन से ऑप्शन. देयर आर मल्टीपल ऑप्शन विच आर करेक्ट, एक्सप्लेनिंग इन अ वाइल. सो फर्स्ट, P एक कंपाउंड है. सेकेंड, X और Y कंपाउंड है. थर्ड, X और Y एलिमेंट्स हैं. और फोर्थ, P हैज़ अ फिक्स्ड कंपाउंड. So yes students, if we are talking about iron sulfide, and iron and sulfur are combining to form what? To form iron sulfide. Now see, X and Y in that question which we are discussing right now, X and Y are combining to form a compound P. एक कंपाउंड बनाने के लिए उस कंपाउंड का नाम क्या, उस कंपाउंड को हम किससे डिनोट कर रहे हैं, वी आर डिनोटिंग दैट कंपाउंड एज P. So this iron and sulfur कैन नॉट बी ब्रोकन डाउन फर्दर, इसे और नहीं तोड़ा जा सकता, और जिन्हें और नहीं तोड़ा जा सकता उन्हें हम किस कैटेगरी में पुट करते हैं? वी पुट देम इन द कैटेगरी ऑफ एलिमेंट्स. So X and Y are elements and these two are combining together to form what? Iron sulfide or the compound P. So P is the compound. And we all know that the compound has what? Compound always has fixed composition. Compound की जो composition होती है वो fixed रहती है. So keeping all these things in mind, we will discuss this question. Now they are saying X and Y combine together to form a product P. X and Y cannot be broken. Since X and Y cannot be broken, what are they? They are elements. You can get this from it. To form a simpler compound, and that compound is the P. And P is what, students? P हमारा compound है. We have taken the example of iron sulfide right now. Now we need to know P is a compound. Yes, that's correct. P एक compound है. X and Y are compounds. No, this is not possible. They are not compound. X and Y are elements since they cannot be broken. P has fixed composition. Yes, P has fixed composition. So first, third and fourth are correct, and this option suits into D. So which is our correct option? The correct option is the D1. Moving ahead to the next question. Now, have a look on this question. Two substances A and B. Now we have two substances. Which two substances we are having? We are having A and B. They were made to react a third substance. अब A और B react हुए और उन्होंने third substance बनाया. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Now, students, many of the statements which we have discussed here are correct. आपको बताना है इनमें से कौन सी statement incorrect है. So think about it and tell which is incorrect. The first one, the product A to B shows the properties of substances A and B. C. जो हमारा प्रोडक्ट है उसमें इन दोनों की प्रॉपर्टीज हैं. हाँ, ये बात बिल्कुल ठीक है. जिससे भी बना है A to B उसमें ऑब्वियसली उन दोनों की प्रॉपर्टीज हैं. So this is the correct statement. The product will always the product will always have a fixed composition. प्रोडक्ट की हमेशा फिक्स्ड कंपोजिशन होगी. हाँ जी, ये बात भी ठीक है. प्रोडक्ट इज हैविंग द फिक्स्ड कंपोजिशन. थर्ड, द प्रोडक्ट सो फॉर्म्ड कैन नॉट बी क्लासिफाइड एज अ कंपाउंड. यस, जो प्रोडक्ट बन रहा है उनमें से उसे हम क्लासिफाई नहीं कर सकते कंपाउंड की तरह. क्यों नहीं कर सकते? जब वो दो चीज़ों के मिलने से बन रहा है तो वो कंपाउंड तो होगा ही होगा. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. द प्रोडक्ट सो फॉर्म्ड इज एन एलिमेंट. दैट इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. हाउ कैन इट बी एन एलिमेंट? एन एलिमेंट इज द सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म. प्योर सब्सटेंस होता है तो वो एलिमेंट तो हो ही नहीं सकता जब दो चीज़ों को मिलके बन रहा है. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज विच वन? क्या प्रोडक्ट की हमेशा फिक्स्ड कंपोजिशन होगी? बेटा देखिए, ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि प्रोडक्ट की हमेशा फिक्स्ड कंपोजिशन होगी, क्योंकि हमें बताया नहीं गया है कि कौन से टू सब्सटेंसेस रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं. सो विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स आर इनकरेक्ट? ऑल द लास्ट थ्री, दैट इज सेकेंड, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ आर इनकरेक्ट. Moving ahead to the next question. The process of separating two miscible liquids. जब दो liquids आपस में mix हो जाते हैं, so which type of separation technique is used to separate those two liquids? A. Sublimation. B. Centrifugation. C. Distillation. And D. Evaporation. So your time starts now. आपको जल्दी से सोचना और बताना है कि कौन सा out of these will separate two miscible liquids. Sublimation. Students, you must know different separation techniques and their principles. कि कौन सी separation technique किस basis पे work करती है. So the correct answer is yes. The correct answer is the technique distillation. Distillation is used to separate two miscible liquids. And I hope you are clear with this process, how it all works. Moving ahead, a mixture of chloroform and water is taken. Now we have taken the mixture of chloroform and water. Name the process of separating these two liquids. आपने क्लोरोफॉर्म और वाटर को मिला दिया है. किस टेक्निक से आप उसे सेपरेट करेंगे? सब्लिमेशन से, सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन से, डिस्टिलेशन से और इवेपोरेशन से. See students, chloroform and water are the liquids of डिफरेंट डेंसिटी. ये दोनों लिक्विड्स हमारे अलग अलग डेंसिटी के हैं. कौन कौन से दोनों लिक्विड्स हमारे पास क्लोरोफॉर्म है और हमारे पास वाटर है. एंड व्हेन वी हैव टू लिक्विड्स ऑफ डिफरेंट डेंसिटी वी सेपरेट देम बाय अ सेपरेशन टेक्निक कॉल्ड एज सेपरेटिंग फनल. अब क्या होगा, जो लाइटर है it will come on the top and the heavier one will settle at the bottom. So the correct answer or the correct separation technique to separate chloroform and water is separating funnel. Moving ahead to the next question. Technique of separating two or more colors of a dye. We know that a dye is made up of so many colors. तो कौन सी टेक्निक है जो डाई के अलग अलग कलर्स सेपरेट करने के लिए वर्क करती है? एंड योर टाइम स्टार्ट्स नाउ. थिंक अबाउट द सेपरेशन टेक्निक विच इज यूज्ड टू सेपरेट different colors of a dye. A. Sublimation. B. Centrifugation. C. Chromatography. Or D. It is evaporation. Think and tell carefully. Hurry up. Great. So the correct separation technique is chromatography. Students, as you can see in this particular slide that how a particular single color is made up of different colors can be seen. So a black dye is made up of different colored components and that different colored components can be separated by a technique chromatography. You can even check out the link in the description box and check out this video, the separation techniques and different videos of Is Matter Around Us Pure. You will get to know more about it in detail and will able to clear your concept. So this is one of the most important separation technique. Next, name the method of purifying solids. There is a technique which is used to purify solids, which works upon cleaning up of solids. And which technique is it? A. Crystallization. B. Centrifugation. C. Distillation. Or D. It is evaporation. So which technique is used to purify solids? Hurry up, your time is passing by. जल्दी जल्दी सोचिए. Crystallization, centrifugation हमने पढ़ी थी. It is used to separate lighter and heavier substances. Distillation के बारे में भी अभी हमने रीड किया. Distillation दो miscible liquids को separate करने का work करती है. D. फिर evaporation की बात करते हैं. We all know evaporation is used to separate one liquid component with another solid component. So the left out option is the correct one and that is what? That is crystallization. So crystallization is the separation technique which is used to purify solids. Moving ahead to the next one. This is the last question for today's and this is how it has been shown that the crystallization process work. हम पहले सॉलिड को सॉल्यूबल करते हैं, मिला देते हैं, फिर उसको फिल्टर पेपर से पास करते हैं सॉल्यूशन को, ताकि सारी इम्प्योरिटीज़ जो सॉलिड में थी घुलने के बाद वो लिक्विड में आ गई हैं और फिर वो लिक्विड से सारी फिल्टर पेपर में एब्जॉर्ब हो जाए. जब फिल्टर पेपर से साफ होगा सॉल्यूशन, वो हमारा क्या होगा? फिल्ट्रेट. वो बिल्कुल क्लीन होगा और जब वो क्लीन होगा उसे हम रख देंगे थोड़े टाइम के लिए और वो क्रिस्टल्स बना देगा. So this process is termed as crystallization and it is used to purify two solids. So moving ahead, this was the last of today's session. Thanks for watching and giving your precious time. Hope you like the content. Please do subscribe my channel for more videos.